Hello world, welcome back to my channel. I am back with some tiny builds from the tiny living pack. This time I'm gonna go ahead and do the medium one of the three, which is the tiny house. I have already done the micro home. If you haven't seen my video already, go ahead and check it out. I'll go ahead and link it down. I would say in the description. However, I don't remember if I'm gonna, well, I don't know if I'll be able to remember if I'm gonna put it back or under or there or not. I don't know what I'm saying, and I just started this video. I had a lot of caffeine, so I shouldn't be drinking any of that exactly by my doctor's words. But I disobeyed him and I drank some because it is pretty late at night, but I really wanted to get this video edited. Which reminds me, if you guys hear any noise, it's because my fiance is here in the other room, so you guys might be able to pick him up. He's playing Sea of Thieves currently online and he gets a little bit excited, so if you guys hear any screaming or anyone talking in the background, I'm sorry about it. This is the only time I have and I have to get it done. This time I'm gonna go ahead and build a tiny build, like I said, and it's inspired by a build I saw online. I think it was on Pinterest, I don't remember, but basically, again, it was one room. I wanted to make it kind of like a loft, but that would just mess up the whole shape of the outside. The point was to make it kind of look like a house slash tent, so a tent house. In the woods. I don't know why all these tiny houses always inspire me to just put him out in the woods, because I guess if you have a tiny house, that's what you want to do, right? Just be out in the open. But anyways, yeah, I could not put a loft. I wanted to put a kid's bedroom up there, but the Sims are not able to bend down, so it has to be a whole floor, and I didn't like the shape of the house. It looked too big, so I ended up removing that and just putting a one bedroom basically for a couple. And I did not test this one like I did with the other one, so I'm not sure if everything works. I know the Sim was able to get into bed when I was doing the screenshots at the end, but everything should work. Everything's spacious, so everything should work, I'm hoping. In my mind, this house is totally off the grid. But the thing is, I don't think that you can make a tiny house or make it a tiny residential and off the grid at the same time. I don't know if off the grid is a trait. Is it a trait? I'm thinking it's a lot. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, please correct me, because if it's a trait, then you totally can have both at the same time. The thing is that it's only in my head and it would only work in real life. Why? Because the toilet, the shower, and the sinks are function off the grid. The thing is that there is electricity in this house, so there's a lot of fairy lights. If you guys saw that in the beginning, I just went crazy with the fairy lights, so all of those would not work if it was truly off the grid. But in my head, they have solar panels, so again, in the real world it would work like that, but the Sims solar panels don't work. And actually, I mentioned this in my last video, I could not find the actual solar panels for the life of me, and I think it's because the only pack that I'm missing is the Moschino one, and I'm thinking those were part of it, because I went through the debug menu so many damn times and I could not find them. But yeah, if you were to make this off the grid, those fairy lights would stop working, and I think that's kind of what ties together this whole look. I was going for kind of like a foresty, fairy, mother nature lover, I don't know, kind of like hippie or bohemian vibes. I don't know, I was going for that kind of like outdoorsy vibes, and I picture the person who lives here like making money off of the flower arrangement table. That's why I placed that inside as well, or like making like beads, bracelets, or I don't know, something like making something by hand and making money off of it. If it was a guy, I would totally replace the flower arranging table. Not that guys can't do flowers, but I would maybe put a woodworking table. I meant to put one outside, but I know I forgot, and I have already uploaded this to the gallery. So you can easily go ahead and place the woodworking table outside. That way both the woman and the man can have something to do. Or if you want your woman to be in the woodworking industry, you guys can do the little yard sale from the lot and have people come and buy your decorations. Same with the flower arrangement table, your bouquets or But the bouquets, the bad thing is that they do go bad. I did not know that, but they do. They go bad after a couple days, so you can't keep them around for too long. You have to sell them right away. Or I don't know, depending on what your sim wants to do, but I don't totally picture someone who lives here makes money off of their own hands, like by making their own things, like earning their money by making, like crafting something. But what else can I say? I do skip the bathroom in this build because there's nothing special about it. I pretty much made it kind of copying the other one from my other build. So again, nothing special, but the toilet is the composting toilet, I think that's what it's called. And then we have the sinks and the kitchen and the bathroom that are also off the grid. And then we have the shower, and there's something special about the shower that you guys will see in a second. The shower is also, or actually placed outside, and I placed it outside not because I couldn't fit it in the bathroom, because I could have, but just because when I saw the picture of the house online, the bathroom was actually outside. But it didn't really matter because they live out of like in the middle of nowhere, so no one would see them when they're bathing. But at the same time, it would suck during the winter because you would have to shower outside. But I don't know, if you don't like that, you can go ahead and easily place it inside in the bathroom. There's plenty of room, so you can totally place it, especially if you replace the shower, because I use the off the grid shower. If you just use the university shower, the one that's like detached, that one gives you a lot of room. And then I saw that there's a trick going on online where you can literally make a two tile flooring bathroom, a 2-tile bathroom. And all you have to do is place that university shower underneath a sink and then the toilet on the side, and it works perfectly fine. Other than that, here I am making the kitchen, or the part of the kitchen. This house is actually pretty spacious, so it doesn't feel that tiny. So it is the medium size. The lot allows for 64 tiles, however I only use 54 out of the 64. I gave it a lot traits for Brazen Breezes again, for peace and quiet again, so it's in the middle of nowhere. But I replaced the Great Soil with the sunny aspect because this lot does not give you the ×2 for gardening. It only gives you the cozy comforts, which gives you the comfort ×2, like everything, all the items give you a ×2 bonus of comfort. And then for it gives you light in the mood, or not light in the mood, sorry, the light in the load, which again, you spend less energy, so there's less bills. And then it gives you the feeling fine all the time, which happy, focus, and inspired moods last twice as long. And then finally, it gives you the you got the touch, which increases your skills ×2 as well. This one doesn't give you the let's all get along and the let it grow, which was the plant one, so I didn't use that. So as far as the kitchen, I just felt like it needed a little something, like a kind of like an accent wall. So I was trying to add kind of like some wood paneling on the back without actually placing down like the wallpaper, but I wasn't feeling it. So I finally gave up and I placed the wallpaper, but again, I just wasn't feeling it. It didn't look nice. So I do play around with it, and I end up kind of going for a little bit something in the industrial side, but at the same time, in my mind, it looks very rustic, which is kind of the whole vibe that I was going with this house, like super rustic, kind of like they made it themselves. And again, they're a fairy, kind of like a what do they call it, a habit? Would it be a habit or a hut? Anything like that. I'm not great with my words when I'm recording. I get super nervous. But here, this is what I end up putting on here, and I think it gives it exactly what I was looking for, but it's still a little empty. So I end up replacing all these things. I move everything to the side, but then I think it looks way too cluttered. So I delete the pans, I delete the knives, and I delete the little IKEA tray, and I just leave the plants there because, again, I feel like they're living totally off the grid, so they would be planting their own food still. So I put their own little spices kind of like hanging there to dry. And I would not I didn't like any of the lights. I tried using the ones from the pack, but it looked too modern for this build, so I ended up just going with custom content because it looks kind of like they could have even made it on their own, like it's woven, so they could have totally done that on their own. And I do apologize, there is a lot of custom content in this build. It's just that the look that I was going for, the Sims furniture did not provide or did not satisfy that need or that image that I had in my head. So there is a lot of custom content in here, so I'm sorry about that. I would say this build is probably like 70 to 80% custom content. The kitchen is CC free except for the fairy lights, because I do go overboard with the fairy lights, like I said. So I think other than that, the kitchen area is totally CC free except for that plant outside of the bathroom area. That is CC, but everything else, yeah, it's not. The bedroom area, however, that is probably like 90% CC. And then the flower arranging table area, I would say it's maybe like 40% CC, because all the clutter items on top of the shelves are CC, and then the like blanket thing with the hats is also CC. But other than that, the furniture, the base furniture itself is not CC, so it would stay in the game. You just have to replace all the clutter items with in-game items. The bed though, the bed is CC, so you can just easily replace it with a non-CC bed. And yeah, all the clutter items, it's just that's my issue when I start. Like I guess the game furniture itself is fine, but the clutter items are what make it best, if that makes any sense. Like the Sims doesn't have, like, it needs to upgrade their clutter items. Like those shelves that the Tiny Living pack has, they look great, but I kind of wish that it had all those items separately so that we can go ahead and place them, or like give you the option to have the shelf completely like filled out, or an empty one so that you can go ahead and put whatever you want on it, and then give you those items as an option as well. Even if it was in the debug menu, it would be fine. It's just that the debug menu takes so long to go through because there's no searching through it. And then once you lose it, you have to go back and find it, and it takes hours. Well, not hours, but I'm exaggerating, but it takes a long time. So here I am going back to fairy lights. I downloaded a bunch, and again, if you're wondering, I download all my CC from the Sims resource. So in case you like any of the CC that I have now, it's all on the it's all on the Sims resource page. And I do pay the $4, which makes it a lot easier, because if you don't pay it, there's an ad after everything that you download. After every click, after everything, there's an ad, and it takes forever, and you can't save anything, and it's a nightmare. You can't search either. Can you believe that? But if you do pay the $4, which is not much a month, it lets you save, it keeps a history, you can download everything in a zip file, there's no ads, it's a lot better, trust me. So yes, I don't have a specific list on like Tumblr. I used to have one, but I don't really use it anymore because I stopped downloading things from Tumblr. I just stick to the Sims resource. It's just a lot easier, and I'm lazy, so I just check it once in a while and I download a bunch of CC. So if you guys would like me to make a CC video, shopping spring thingy video on this channel, then let me know. But we are moving out to the outside. I wanted to add a patio, but that counted tiles, and I only have 10 tiles left, so I did not want to just waste space. So I ended up just placing the wood on the ground directly, and it works just fine. And just because I wanted to make like an outside chilling area, so I ended up placing a couple chairs, and I do place a dining table outside, because I feel like when they have friends over, there's only 2 seats on the inside table, so if it's cold or something, obviously they can eat inside. But for the most part, I would love to have a dining table outside. Like, I don't know, I really do love the outdoors. I like going camping, even though I haven't been in it so long, and I want to go for my birthday in August. But it might be too hot, who knows. But yes, I do place it out here, and I think it looks wonderful. It's so pretty. I really kind of wish I lived here. I do like the micro one a lot better though. I love the style for this one. It's totally like up my alley, but the micro one is just more comfy, like a lot cuter. I don't know. I kind of live in a micro home myself right now, and I make it work. But we're getting close to the screenshots already. Outside, I added these from, I think it was Parenthood or the toddler stuff. And then I do add a little section for a fire pit, and then I do add this little barrel from Silva Dorada or the Jungle Adventures, just so they have some place to cook outside and grill. And then I end up adding the horseshoe outside camping game, and then I do add the shower outside like I said. And then what else? Oh yeah, I add the yoga stuff outside because I picture them totally doing that. What else do I add? Oh, I do go through the debug menu and I add wannabe solar panels because I could not find the other ones, which I'm gonna have to download Moschino just because of that, and the awesome windows, which I just didn't think that it was worth it because you could easily get those windows like on CC, but anyways, I'm gonna download it anyways. But what else? I just add a bunch of trees for the landscaping just to make it look like it's in the woods again. And then I add a water tower, which you guys will see in the screenshots, and I add bins. I did not forget the bins. But anyways, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you. Bye.